Hi everyone, this is 2.4, the Declaration of Independence. Go ahead and set up your notebook for Unit 2, Lesson 4, Declaration of Independence Notes. This is all going to go on the left-hand side of your notebook. Make sure you give yourself space in between each item. Use up the entire page so that you can take your notes on the right-hand side of your notebook page. The objective for today is that you will be able to analyze the parts of the Declaration of Independence by taking notes and rewriting portions of the Declaration in your own words. The essential question for this unit is, how did the Declaration of Independence become a roadmap for the new republic as it extended the franchise, provided for equality of opportunity and guaranteed unalienable rights? So the Second Continental Congress lasted from 1775 until 1776. So essentially what had happened is, even after everything the British had done, a lot of people still did not want to declare their independence. They weren't quite ready for that. So when they convened in May 19th of 1775, it was still debated on what actions they were going to take. They did know, though, that we needed a commander-in-chief of the army, and they appointed George Washington. This was after the battles of Lexington and Concord. We needed to have some sort of army to go after the British for attacking, or for the battles of Lexington and Concord. Now, they did appoint 5 men to write a declaration that stated the colony's intent and the reasons why they wanted their independence. But they also first sent out what we call the Olive Branch Petition, and this was an attempt to make peace with Great Britain. In June of 1775, 56 delegates met and debated, and each colony had one vote about what was going to be said. Essentially, they deliberated for over a year. Now remember, they weren't quite ready to make this commitment yet, so they wanted to really make sure that it was the right step to make. Now, in 1776, Common Sense by Thomas Paine, remember we talked about this earlier, had come out. And this was more of a plea to the public, explaining to the people why they should support independence. This helped the delegates for the Continental Congress gain support for the independence, because now they've started to gain more support from the people. So on July 2nd, the Continental Congress approved the Declaration, which had been written by Thomas Jefferson. And on July 4th of 1776, written by Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock was the first to sign the Declaration, which is the largest signature on the Declaration of Independence. Also important to note, that's why we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th, is because that was when the Declaration was written. And this did officially end our ties with Great Britain. The Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson, and we're going to go into a little bit more about the Declaration itself, because that's what you guys are going to be primarily working with today. Thomas Jefferson had a good understanding of what the actions entailed, of what exactly was taking place. And so as he was writing this, he was very clear on how he set up the Declaration, and the fact that there's actually sections broken down of what the Declaration is stating and what it's asking for. Essentially, he wanted to make sure that it explained exactly why the colonists wanted to separate. So he talks about the violations that Great Britain did and why the colonists wanted their independence. Second paragraph specifically says that all men are created equal. Now this is kind of funny because, as we all know, Jefferson had slaves, and he did not at all intend for all men to be created equal. He intended for all white men to be created equal. He said that the government's job was to protect the life, the liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. This is the ideas that he got from John Locke that he included directly into the Declaration of Independence. And what happens if the government does not protect those rights? Well then, as we remember from our John Locke reading, we have the ability to overturn the government. However, we can't just overturn the government because we want to. There has to be absolute despotism for our overturning the government. And essentially, there has to be a reason. We have to be able to prove that the government did not protect our life, our liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My fault. And so this is how Thomas Jefferson set up the Declaration. Now, there are 3 basic principles in the Declaration of Independence. The first are the natural rights, the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The second is popular sovereignty. Now remember, sovereignty means power. So popular sovereignty means that the people are the source of the political authority, or that the people are the source of the power, which is the case in today's common U.S. government and the fact that we vote for our politicians. It gives the power to the people. And then finally, order. And that is the importance of stability. Overthrowing a government is only a last resort. I think this is something that really keep in mind, especially in today's current political atmosphere, is that there has to be some sense of order in government. You can't just throw over a lead or overtake a leader. We only use that as a very last resort. Now, one other important note that we did talk about a little bit earlier was that this did not include any African Americans. This only included white males. And that's it.